What exactly is page architecture? Imagine constructing a building where each piece that you put has a specific function, location, and purpose. A sturdy page architecture similarly places the bulk of the HTML or JSX within the walls of server-side components. What I'm trying to get at here is that server components should be the building blocks of your web application. You optimize the developer experience by simplifying and also improving the user experience by improving metrics related to the speed at which the page is loading. There are many bad practices when it comes to architecting your page. One of them is when developers decide to just go with client components for everything. That means you cram every piece of code into your client components, including the code that doesn't really change or require any interactivity from or with the user, essentially. Another very common bad practice when it comes to architecting your page is performing data fetching within a client component. Here is an example of a component that is trying to do everything. It's trying to fetch the data from the API, process it, and also show it. However, there are different ways in which we can solve this by properly architecting our page. One potential solution would be to split that client component into two, a server component and a dynamic client component. The server component is in charge of data fetching. In this case, I'm simply putting a URL there, but I could be performing a database query, for example. The point is that this component is pre-rendered the first time it gets fetched. We then can use this component within a client component, like we see here, and the client component would fetch a pre-rendered version of our profile. Our client component is slimmer, easier to maintain, and only focused on the interactivity part. In this case, simply adding a button to set a fake editing option.